You got a tax refund this year. Maybe $2,000, maybe $3,000, maybe more. And I'm willing to bet you felt good about it. Maybe you used it to pay off a bill, took a little trip, bought something you'd been putting off for months. Here's what nobody told you. That refund wasn't a bonus. It wasn't a gift. It wasn't the government doing you a favor. That was your money. And the IRS held it for an entire year, interest-free, because of one form you probably filled out on your first day of work and never touched again. The average American got back $3,400 last tax season. That's $288 a month that never hit your bank account. $288 that could have been killing your debt, earning interest, sitting in your pocket. Instead, you lent it to the government for free. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how that happened, why most people never catch it, and the one update that could put hundreds of dollars back in your paycheck starting as soon as your next pay period. Stay with me. This one's going to change how you look at every paycheck you've ever received. Think back to your first day at your current job. You were nervous, you were excited. HR handed you a stack of paperwork, benefits forms, direct deposit, emergency contacts, and somewhere in that pile was a form called the W-4. You probably filled it out in about 90 seconds. Maybe you copied what a coworker did. Maybe you just guessed. Maybe HR told you to just put single and zero and you'll be fine. And then you moved on with your life. Here's the thing nobody tells you. That single distracted decision made on your most stressed, most overwhelmed day at that job, it is still controlling how much money you take home every single paycheck. Not just that year, not just the first few months, right now, today. And if your life has changed at all, you got a raise, you got married, you had a kid, you started a side hustle, your spouse got a job, your W-4 is wrong. And wrong means the government is holding money that belongs to you. Let me show you exactly how deep this goes. Here's something that will make your jaw drop. Your employer's payroll system doesn't know your spouse exists. Every single paycheck, your employer calculates your withholding as if your income is the only income in your household. Your spouse's employer does the exact same thing on their end. So what happens? Both employers are withholding too little because neither one sees the full picture. And when you file jointly in April, the IRS combines both salaries, and suddenly you're in a higher tax bracket than either employer accounted for. The result? A tax bill you weren't expecting. A bill you probably called bad luck. A bill that is actually a predictable, preventable math problem hiding inside your W-4. Meet Sarah and James. They both work. Sarah makes $62,000 a year. James makes $78,000. Their individual paychecks look completely fine. They're not overspending. They're not living lavishly. But every single April for the last 4 years, they've owed between $2,000 and $3,500 in taxes and they have no idea why. It's not bad luck. It's a single unchecked box on their W-4 called Step 2. I'll show you the fix in just a minute. Now here's the second trap, and this one hits people who are actually doing well. Every raise you've ever gotten, every new job, every dollar you've earned from a side hustle, your W-4 didn't update automatically. It stayed exactly as you left it. Here's why that matters. As your income grows, you may cross into a higher tax bracket, but your withholding is still calculated based on who you were when you first filled out that form. This is called bracket creep, and it silently increases what you owe at tax time. Every single year your income goes up, even by a small amount. Nobody sends you a letter. Nobody flags it on your pay stub. You just notice in April that you owe more than last year, and then the year after, and the year after that. Sound familiar? Now here's the third trap. This one catches high earners off guard every single time. When your employer pays you a bonus, they don't withhold taxes on it the same way they do your regular paycheck. They withhold a flat 22%, regardless of what tax bracket you're actually in. If you're in the 32% bracket, that means every bonus you receive is under withheld by 10%, and you won't feel that gap until April, when the IRS sends you a bill. You worked harder, you earned more, and now you owe money because your bonus was taxed at the wrong rate. And here's the last trap, the one that almost nobody talks about. If you didn't submit a W-4 by your very first payroll, or if you left fields blank when you started, your employer was legally required to withhold taxes as if you're single with no adjustment. That's the highest possible withholding rate. And if you've never updated your form since, you may have been over withholding for years. Your own money sitting with the IRS, collecting zero interest, while you stress about bills every single month. Okay, here's where it gets good. Because unlike most financial problems, This one has a clean, simple, specific fix, and you can start it today. If you and your spouse both work, go to your W-4 and find step 2. There's a checkbox there. It says multiple jobs. Check it. That one checkbox tells your employer to withhold at a higher rate to account for your combined household income. It takes 5 seconds, and it could prevent a $2,000 or $3,000 April surprise every single year going forward. 5 seconds, one checkbox. Now here's something most people don't know. You can submit a new W-4 to your employer anytime during the year. There's no limit on how many times you can update it, and your employer is required to apply the changes within 30 days, often by your very next payroll run. That means if you update your W-4 today, you could see a bigger paycheck within 2 weeks. Not in April, not next year. 2 weeks. And if you have a side hustle or any freelance income, here's what most people do wrong. They ignore it on their W-4 and then get hit with a massive unexpected tax bill in April. Here's what you can do instead. On your W-4, go to Step 4, Line 4C. You can enter a specific extra dollar amount to withhold from every paycheck to cover your side income taxes. Instead of scrambling to make quarterly payments, or facing a penalty you didn't see coming, you simply prepay through your regular paycheck. Clean, simple, automatic. Most people with a side hustle have never heard of this option. Now you have. Here is your one action for today. Not this week, not when you get around to it. Today, go to irs.gov and search Tax Withholding Estimator. It's free. It's official. It takes about 15 minutes. You'll need your most recent pay stub. If your spouse works, grab theirs too, and a rough estimate of any side income you earn. The tool will tell you exactly whether you're over withholding or under withholding, and it will generate a pre-filled W-4 you can print, sign, and hand to HR tomorrow morning. That's it. One tool, one form, one conversation with HR. Write this down right now. irs.gov, Tax Withholding Estimator. I want you to think about something for a second. If you've been over withholding by $250 a month for the last 3 years, which is completely common, that's $9,000 that sat with the IRS earning nothing. No interest, no debt paydown, no savings, no investment, just sitting there. And every April, the government hands it back to you like they did you a favor. And you feel grateful? You shouldn't feel grateful. You should feel like you just found out there's been a leak in your house, draining your savings for years without you ever knowing it was there, because that's exactly what this is, a leak. And now you know where it is. You work hard for your money. You deserve every single dollar of it. In your account, in your pocket, working for you, not sitting in a government account until tax season. Fix the form, plug the leak, keep what's yours. If this opened your eyes, do me a favor and share this with one person, a coworker, a spouse, a friend who gets a big refund every year and thinks it's great news. They need to see this. And if you want to go deeper, next video, I'm breaking down the credit card interest trap that keeps people paying $300 a month and barely moving the needle on their balance. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.